On this video, we're going to be replacing our alternator. Using a 13mm socket, go ahead and remove our ground terminal nut here. I'll go ahead and spin the terminal loose, work that off and set it aside. Let's go ahead and loosen our positive terminal here. I'll go ahead and loosen and remove this here. Using an 8mm socket and extension, we're going to go ahead and remove this bolt here. This is our battery wedge or hold down block. Okay, to remove that, set that aside. Go ahead and grab our battery. Go ahead, lift it up, set it aside. Now on our upper intake tube here, I want to disconnect this connector right here. Go ahead and disconnect our vacuum right here. And we want to go ahead and disconnect this tube. There's going to be a clamp here and one on the other end. I'm going to go ahead and loosen the clamps. Use our flathead screwdriver for this one here for a little better clearance. Once that's loose, let's go ahead and work this off, remove it, and set it aside. Using our 15mm wrench, we're going to go ahead and push down on this tensioner, slide our belt off. Release the tensioner. Go ahead and just pull our upper radiator hose to the side. And we have two connectors here we want to go ahead and disconnect. Now I'm going to use my pick. I'm going to get underneath the front of this connector, lift up on this tab, and just pull up on that, disconnect it like that. This little connector here, there's a little tab in front of it. Simply going to get underneath that little tab, gently lift up, and pop this one out as well. So we have our tab right here that we just get our pick up underneath and lift that up, and then we can pull the connector right off. The rest of this harness, you want to go ahead and disconnect this as well. There's a 10mm nut on the back side here, so we're just going to use our socket and our ratchet, loosen and remove the nut. Once that nut is off, go ahead and remove that harness and just tuck it aside and set this nut right on the back of your alternator. That way there, you know where it is. Using a 13mm socket and extension, we're going to remove the three upper bolts for the alternator. One here, it's one over here, and then one on the back side right here. With those loose, let's go ahead and remove these here. Set those aside. With the bolts removed, we should be able to go ahead and grab that alternator and just work that out right here. We're going to take your alternator, slide that right back into place here. Go ahead and drop a bolt down and get that started a couple threads. We'll go ahead and put in our two rear bolts. Once you have all these bolts started by hand, I'm going to go ahead and snug those down. I want to make sure that those are snug. I'm going to go ahead and take your wire here, install that. Get that nut on there. Let's go ahead and snug that nut down. Once it bottoms out, just give it a little bit more. Let's go ahead and install our connectors. Line that up, push that down. And the same with our big connector here. Push that down, and you feel it snap into place. Go ahead and install our belt. want to make sure that the belt is routed across all of your pulleys correctly and they are lined up with the ribs. We're just holding a little bit of tension right here, so we can go ahead and put that onto our alternator. Let's go ahead and push down on our tensioner. You can see our belt already moving up. Popped it into place, and then slowly release. Once again, you want to double check all of the belt routing and all of the pulleys. Make sure the belt is lined up on all the ribs. Ours looks good. Now that we have our belt installed, let's go ahead and install our air intake tube. Let's install our upper air intake tube. And press this onto both ends. Let's tighten down our hose clamps. You just want these snug. You can get your vacuum hose pushed in. We'll take our electrical connector and push this on. Let's lower our battery down in a position. Good there, line that up. Get our bolt drop down inside there. Now this wedge is designed just to hold your battery down into the tray. So once you feel that start to snug down, we're pretty much good where we need to be. Feels good there. I'm going to give our battery a good tug, and that is hold it good in place. Going to install our positive battery terminal. Once we have that's tight, let's go ahead and grab our negative terminal, pop that on. Let's go ahead and tighten down this side. And once that snugs down, you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.